Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Daring Danny pursues Cyrus. At the Port Charles Grill, Sasha couldn't hear Cody mention anything else about her pregnancy or who might have fathered her child. She stepped up and threw a glass of water in Cody's face, while her fellow customers stared. Sasha shouted, "Stay out of my life," before storming out of the restaurant. Jason and Sasha met up at the Q boathouse. Jason said her Cody wouldn't be a problem anymore, so Sasha wondered if he had beaten Cody up like he did Drew. Sasha inquired about Michael's well-being. Jason stated that the treatment was effective, and Michael was determined to return home. "When he does come home, I want him to have his kids waiting for him," Sasha told me. Jason desired the same. "Which is why we've gotta let everyone believe that you're the father of my baby," she said in response. Sasha revealed that she didn't tell Cody the truth at the Port Charles Grill because Willow was present. "If I had told Cody the truth, she could have found out that Michael had been unfaithful too," Sasha informed me. Jason was willing to go along with Sasha's plan for Michael's sake, but only if it suited Sasha. "I'm completely sure. I'm helping Michael because he is my friend," she told me. Jason told Sasha that he would not hover, but he had promised Michael to care after her. Except for Danny, Jason agreed to let everyone assume he was the father of Sasha's kid. "He just lost his mother. I'm not going to tell him the baby is Michael's, but I can't let him think that I'm the father," Jason told me. Willow returned to the Port Charles Grill with some diluted comments on what had occurred at the next table. "I don't understand why everyone thinks Drew is such a bad guy while his brother the career criminal walks on water. All I do know is that Drew would never treat me the way Jason's treating Sasha," she quipped. "That's completely true," Nina said, as the comments sailed right over Willow's head. "Unlike their relationship, Drew actually loves me," Willow exclaimed, as Nina dropped her head in anger. Marty just wanted to get back to the matter at hand, but Willow didn't believe she could discover dirt on Michael. He was only underhanded in business, not in his personal life. Willow was simply relieved to learn that she and Drew no longer had to hide their connection. Cyrus approached the table and interrupted the small talk to speak with his brother quietly. Martin listened as Cyrus explained how Lulu misread his intentions at Turning Woods. Cyrus was saddened that Lulu was now terrified of him, but Marty did not blame her. Cyrus asked Marty to arrange a meeting between him and Lucky so that he could defend himself. While alone at their table, Nina recommended Willow to be more private about her relationship with Drew, at least until her divorce was finalized. "How do you think it will look to a judge when you openly have an extramarital affair while your husband was away recovering from severe burns?" Nina requested an answer. Willow believed that coming public with her affair would be excellent parenting. After all, she didn't want to teach Wiley and Amelia that it was acceptable to mask their actual feelings. "The best thing I can do is be open and honest about my feelings for Drew," she said. Willow resumed gossiping about Sasha until Willow stopped it. "Maybe we should just leave Sasha to Sasha," Nina offered, as Willow forgot that Sasha was Nina's lovely kid before Willow arrived. Willow noted Sasha and Nina's proximity before continuing to talk. "Doesn't it hurt that she lied her way into your life?" Willow said. "Why?" "It wasn't a lie that kept her there," Nina explained. Nina's forgiveness astounded Willow. "There have been times in my life that I needed forgiveness, and there will be more in the future. In an ideal world, Willow, everyone would be honest, but that's not what happens. People like to protect themselves, and they lie to protect the people that they love," Nina said me. As Willow went on about Drew's honesty and how he'd never kept anything from her, Nina's guilty conscience overcame her as she prepared to tell Willow she slept with Drew. Christina came for her shift at Charlie's a few minutes late, but Lucky was unconcerned. Christina informed him that she almost never made it, but Elizabeth helped. When Lucky noticed Liz behind Christina, he questioned how she had rescued the day. Elizabeth refused to discuss the incident in the park, so Christina told Lucky everything, remarking that Liz had prevented Ava from being killed. Soon, Isaiah arrived and informed Lucky that Sidwell was in town. Lucky already knew and warned Isaiah to avoid the man. Isaiah approached Liz to discuss the Digitalis fatalities. They hadn't gotten far into their conversation when Marty arrived with Cyrus. Marty and Cyrus sat at a table in the corner, hoping that being seen with Marty would help him gain Lucky's favor. All Lucky wanted to do was ignore his mischievous uncle. Emma and Gio sat in a corner of Charlie's waiting for Trina and Kai to come. Emma hoped to persuade Kai to be her voice against animal testing. When Kai and Trina came, Emma presented Kai with her proposition. She wanted Kai to speak at her benefit. Kai agreed to anything Emma requested. Danny tried everything he could to acquire additional information from Rocco in the Q-Solarium, but Rocco only knew what he had told Danny regarding Sam's death. Danny was frustrated since Cyrus did not have a social media account. Well, he's old, and he tried to kill someone, Rocco noted. Rocco felt angry with himself for even informing Danny about Cyrus. Chase shouldn't have told my dad and I shouldn't have told you, he added. Danny insisted that he had the right to know. Danny received a message that Kai had posted on social media. He took a selfie with Emma at Charlie's, with Cyrus in the backdrop. The next time we saw Rocco, he was alone until Jason and Sasha walked in and discovered him freaking out. I told Danny that Cyrus Renault was the main suspect in his mom's death, Rocco said. Jason was not pleased to learn that Rocco was at Charlie's, ready to confront Cyrus. Rocco was concerned that he had killed Danny, so he swiftly left to rescue his teenage son. Danny stormed into Charlie's and got right in Cyrus' face. I know you killed my mother, Danny charged. Cyrus went into religious mode, placing his hand on Danny's shoulder and offered to assist God heal Danny's anguish. Jason stormed in like the hitman Superman he is, making demands. Get your hands off my son, he demanded. Sonny and Natalia were discussing deception business on the aircraft ride home from Los Angeles when Sonny received a call from his doctor. Sonny was relieved to find that if he took his medications and managed his stress, he wouldn't require a pacemaker. He would still require heart surgery to repair damage from a prior gunshot wound, but he would otherwise be well. Sonny's plan to stay stress-free was abruptly derailed when Christina called to inform him about the incident in the park with Ava and Avery. Dad, as much as we both hate Rick, he really did swoop in and drag Ava off, Christina said. She urged Sonny to put her on the stand so she could tell the judge that Ava attempted to kidnap Avery, but Sonny refused and informed Christina that the line was being disconnected. Curtis joined Jordan when he discovered her sitting alone at a booth at Cafe Sherry. Curtis wondered if the Esplanade project might be rescued. There might be an 11th-hour rescue, Jordan stated as Sidwell approached the table as planned. Jordan introduced the two men. As usual, Sidwell poured on the charm and immediately brought up the absurdity of a development project being stalled by an environmental impact study. Sidwell wanted to provide his fresh perspective to get things back on track. He cited Drew's support for transferring the project to Pier 55, which frightened Curtis. When Sidwell left the table to take a call, Curtis warned Jordan. A word of advice. Whatever this guy wants, just say no, Curtis told me. Curtis did not enjoy Sidwell's involvement with Drew, nor did he like using a location where Sonny conducts business. On General Hospital, Anna warns Jocelyn. Lucky and Elizabeth commiserate. Nina tries to be brave. Jason issues Cyrus a warning. General Hospital spoilers, Sasha's baby gender revealed, boy or girl? General Hospital teasers hint that Sasha Gilmore Corbin's baby gender will eventually be disclosed. Will it be a boy or a girl? GH fans are ready to find out, so let's discuss the big news that's still to come. Sasha should receive gender updates soon after a baby appointment at the hospital. Unless Sasha chooses to keep the surprise until her delivery day, she will find out whether she is having a son or a daughter. Of course, fans will recall that Sasha and Brando Corbin had a baby boy named Liam Corbin, who died soon after birth. It could be heartbreaking for Sasha if she realizes she is expecting another baby boy. That news may remind Sasha of how much she has lost and heighten her concerns on some level. If Sasha discovers she is having a son, it may rekindle some difficult Liam feelings and raise fears about her unborn child's future. At the same time, Sasha might believe Liam is giving her a second shot with his brother. That might bring some consolation to Sasha and allow her to appreciate baby boy number 2 once he survives. However, it is possible that Sasha will discover she is expecting a daughter instead. We could definitely see Sasha becoming a mother to a bouncing baby girl down the road. Sasha has gone through a lot in the last few years, so we wouldn't mind seeing her embrace a fresh start with a daughter revelation. It might alleviate some of Liam's baggage and allow Sasha to completely focus on what is ahead. Sasha will continue to deal with a complicated baby daddy situation, but she will never forget how much she wants this child and parenthood in general. Sasha is looking forward to being a mother, so let's hope her pregnancy results in a healthy baby. Our GH predictions suggest some fresh twists and turns as Sasha prepares for her forthcoming delivery, implying that there will be a lot more drama ahead. According to General Hospital teasers, Sasha and Jason Morgan will work together to prevent Michael Corinthos from causing paternity havoc, so stay tuned. Kai and Trina bond, Nina's heart-to-heart. The General Hospital preview is here. In today's episode, Jason Morgan is expected to threaten Cyrus Renaud. Nina Reeves prepares to confess to Willow Tate Corinthos. Meanwhile, Kai Taylor continues to bond with Trina Robinson. Nina Reeves confesses, in today's episode, Nina will continue to have a heart-to-heart with her daughter. Nina is taking a significant risk in order to separate Willow from Drew Kane Quartermaine. Nina has no idea how Willow will react when she learns Drew slept with her mother. Nina hopes it would disgust Willow and turn her away from the sleazy congressman. Of course, Nina may back out at the last minute and make up another story. If Nina tells Willow about her personal relationship with Drew, would the nurse believe her mother? Willow is in love, and her mind might find any reason not to trust Nina's claims. Willow could also approach Drew, who may suggest Nina is lying. Jocelyn Jack's Dangerous Game promo video also hints at increased tension between Jocelyn Jacks and Anna Devane. Jocelyn took matters into her own hands, sneaking into Cyrus's room. Jocelyn disturbed a flower, indicating that someone was in Cy's room. Jocelyn then apologized to Cyrus, which could have helped to mitigate the harm if two other occurrences had not occurred. Cyrus overheard Elizabeth Liz Baldwin and was accosted by Danny Morgan. Expect Anna to scold Jocelyn in the upcoming episode. Anna cautions Joss once more that her little game could get her killed. Jason Morgan's threat returns with Cyrus on General Hospital. Spoilers show he is still being faced by Jason. Cyrus placed his hand on Danny's shoulder and said a false prayer. Danny gasped, and it was obviously a scary position, but Cy isn't going to do anything in front of the other customers. Cy has to maintain his facade. Jason threatens Cyrus, saying that if he touches Danny again, nobody will find the villain's body. The difficulty is that if Cyrus is killed, Jason will most certainly be the leading suspect due to his loud and public threat. Kai Taylor and Trina Robinson bond. The preview film also shows Kai telling Trina that those are wise words to live by. Although it appears that these two are connecting, Curtis Ashford has reservations about the young man. Meanwhile, Jack Brennan sits down with Carly Spencer. Plus, Elizabeth Liz Baldwin begins to open up to Lucky Spencer. Share your opinions in the comments area below. General Hospital spoilers, can Lulu save Dante from self-destruction? General Hospital spoilers, Dante Falconeri could have time to hope that Sam McCall's killer is apprehended soon if he wasn't so consumed with rage. Anna Devane's decision to deny him access to the inquiry has further fueled his wrath. Dante should know better than anybody that this is just routine, but instead, he's on a mission to find out who killed the woman he intended to spend the rest of his life with. It won't bring her back, and it doesn't seem like it will give him peace to pursue the investigation on his own. But, fortunately for Dante, someone is in his corner right now, even if he doesn't realize it. Is the quest for Sam's killer how Lulu Spencer re-enters Dante's heart? The hunt for a killer. Anna's decision to exclude Dante derives from the necessity to protect the case's integrity, but it feels like a personal affront to Dante, especially considering his emotional engagement. His determination to identify Sam's killer has almost become an obsession, pushing him to the verge. Despite comprehending the rules, Dante's emotions cannot reconcile with his brain, potentially leading him down a path where he will lose himself. But in the midst of this upheaval, an unexpected ally may be waiting in the wings. Might this be the time Lulu Spencer claws her way back into Dante's affections? The love tale of Dante and Lulu bears striking similarities to that of Laura and Luke Spencer. Just as Luke and Laura bonded over the excitement of uncovering numerous mysteries and defeating the Cassidines, Dante and Lulu may be drawn back together by their common goal to discover the truth about Sam's death. Their past is littered with occasions when they've fought side by side, from their carefree beginnings to the difficulties of pregnancy and parenting. This case could serve as a catalyst for them to rediscover the strength they take from one another, like Laura and Luke did, transforming their pursuit into more than simply a search for justice but also a journey back to each other. Finding love again as they go deeper into the research, their collaboration may become more than simply surface work. The emotional intimacy that comes with such high-stakes teamwork may remind them of the love they once had, which is now boiling under the surface, waiting for the appropriate moment to rekindle. The exhilaration of this chase could create the ideal conditions for passion to flourish once more. If they can uncover the mystery of Sam's death, they might just be able to reconcile their wounded hearts, showing that love, like justice, is worth fighting for. Will Dante and Lulu's trek through the darkness bring them back to the light of love? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain, their route to reconciliation may well be paved with the search of truth. Spoilers, does Willow really want a divorce, or is she under pressure? Willow Corinthos is feeling the pressure of the walls closing in. Everyone in Port Charles seems to have passed judgment on her romance with Drew Quartermain, as well as her separation from her husband, Michael Corinthos, in favor of his uncle. Willow is about to make a final decision, but will it be the congressman? General Hospital spoilers, did Willow and Michael really have any major issues? Willow and Michael had been one of Port Charles's most stable couples in recent years. Fans remarked that they were uninteresting, which could be Willow's true issue. Drew added some excitement because he was doing things on a larger scale, whereas Michael was quietly cleaning up after Sonny Corinthos' messes. Drew is Willow's personal hero for saving her life, and her rose-colored glasses have transformed him into a positive role model rather than the narcissist that everyone else perceives him to be. She now admits that there were problems in her marriage, but it is difficult to notice them from here. She moved out of the gatehouse, Michael was severely burned and sent to a facility in Germany, and now we are here. There was no conversation, no comprehension of what Willow was genuinely upset about, and no closure. General Hospital spoilers, Martin Gray asks the hard questions finally. This week, someone other than Nina Reeves will start asking some serious questions. The spoilers reveal that Martin Gray will meet with his client, and he will not hold back. There is a significant difference between going through the procedures of a separation and dissolving a marriage. Willow eventually needs to determine for herself whether a divorce is actually what she wants. Drew enjoys feeding her thoughts and phrases, but when it's just her and Marty, what does she really want? Willow had already told Nina that she still loves and misses Michael, so her emotions are still jumbled. It's difficult to envision her going through with a divorce while there is still love and unspoken things to be uttered. Will she end her marriage for real? Or will Willow wake up and realize that listening to Drew could be the worst thing for her? What do you believe will happen? Jason's deadly threat, Nina's confession, Anna's serious warning, Brennan flirts on the next General Hospital, deadly threats, heartbreaking admissions, and love overtures. Jocelyn Jacks describes her activities to Anna Devane. Additionally, Isaiah Gannon forms a bond with Christina Corinthos Davis. Danny Morgan's mistake after learning that Cyrus Renault had slain Sam McCall, Danny rushed to confront the culprit. Danny demanded that Cyrus explain why he murdered Sam. That's when Rocco Falconeri notified Jason Morgan, who raced to save his son. First, Jason needs to deal with Cyrus. As Danny stands next to his father, Jason openly threatens Cyrus in front of the other customers. Jason says that if Cyrus touches Danny again, they will never locate his body. That might be a problem if Cyrus dies. After Danny and Jason return home, the father will have a talk with his son. Jason would caution Danny that doing something like this might have fatal consequences. Jocelyn Jacks explains over at the police station. Anna has a serious conversation with Jocelyn. When Anna learns of Jocelyn's undercover inquiry, she becomes even tougher with the college student. Anna cautions Joss that if she continues to play games, she could end herself dead. General Hospital spoilers claim that Nina Reeves prepares to confess to Willow Tate Corinthos. Nina begins to explain, but it is not easy. So, how will Willow respond when Nina informs her about Drew Kane Quartermain? Nina hopes that this will open Willow's eyes. What happens if Willow accuses Nina of lying? Isaiah Gannon's new bond. In tomorrow's episode, fans can expect Isaiah and Christina to bond. Alexis Davis asks Tracy Quartermaine for a significant request. However, given Tracy's current family troubles, what would she expect in return? Kai Taylor spends more time with Trina Robinson. In a trailer for the next episode, Kai tells Trina, "Those are good words to live by." Meanwhile, Carly Spencer and Jack Brennan have a night out on the town. Additionally, Elizabeth Liz Baldwin opens up to Lucky Spencer. General Hospital spoilers. Did Lois lie to Marty about Sonny's knowledge of Geo? General Hospital spoilers suggest that Lois Cerullo may have been less than open with Marty Gray about Brooke Lynn Quartermaine's teenage years. Lois has maintained that she and Brooke Lynn were the only ones who knew about the infant Brooke Lynn had given up for adoption years ago. However, there is a twist. Sonny Corinthos may be involved, and Lois may have purposefully withheld this information in order to protect her old buddy. Sonny knows how to keep a hidden. Brooke Lynn once had a whirlwind affair with Dante Falconeri, which resulted in a hidden pregnancy. She gave birth to a boy, Giovanni Gio Palmieri, at a very young age, and the choice was taken to place him for adoption. While Brooke Lynn's father, Ned Quartermaine, was fully kept in the dark, Dante's father, Sonny, may not have been so. Could it be that Sonny, with his extensive network and resources, was informed or perhaps active in assuring his grandchild's well-being? Would he honestly deny Lois the knowledge that her grandson was okay? Would he deny this for himself? Claim anything for an old friend. Lois and Sonny's friendship dates back to their youth, forming a closeness that has lasted the test of time, as well as the myriad of traumatic events they have both experienced over the years. Given their history, it wouldn't be unusual for Lois to tell Sonny about such a crucial moment in Brooke Lynn's life. Perhaps in a moment of sensitivity or planning, Lois disclosed her idea with Sonny, entrusting him with the adoption secret. For all we know, it could have been Sonny's idea to fix the adoption and give the child to someone from their own network of acquaintances. Two peas in a pod. The intriguing idea here is that Sonny and Lois planned the adoption together, allowing them to keep track of Joe's life without disrupting his new family. This would explain the strange benefactor role that Sonny appears to have played in Joe's life. If Sonny knew about Gio all along, it would throw light on his protective behaviors and financial support, which may have been misinterpreted or just kept hidden to protect all parties involved. The concept that Sonny and Lois collaborated to safeguard Joe's future would undoubtedly prepare them to rely on each other when the truth is revealed and their children and grandchild turn their backs on them. Lucky and Elizabeth, a rekindled love story, but at what cost? Port Charles had hosted innumerable love stories, but few had grabbed hearts like Lucky Spencer and Elizabeth Weber. Their love had been genuine, passionate, and strong since their teenage years, when life appeared full of limitless possibilities. Their love had survived tragedy, treachery, and time itself, but could it bear the weight of everything that had happened between them? Lucky was back in town, and with him came the prospect of rekindling something that had once seemed unshakable. Was love ever really that simple? Particularly in Port Charles? A love that was once unbreakable. Their passion had begun in the purity of childhood, based on trust and the kind of love that most people could only dream about. Lucky had been her guardian, best buddy, and everything. And when tragedy struck, when Elizabeth was attacked all those years ago, it was Lucky who was there to hold her, to help her recover, and to demonstrate that love did not have to be painful. However, even the most stubborn of hearts could be reshaped with time. Life had occurred. And in the years they'd been apart, Elizabeth had gone on, raising her children and creating a life without Lucky. Could they really find their way back together after everything? Or were they deceiving themselves, pursuing a memory rather than a future? A ghost from the past, or a second chance at forever? Lucky's absence had left scars, not only on Elizabeth but also on himself. He had been imprisoned, assumed dead, and forced to witness horrors he had never described. Even though he had recovered, the experience had altered him in ways he couldn't explain. The man standing before Elizabeth was not the same boy she had once adored. And Elizabeth? She wasn't the same girl who had believed their love could conquer all. She loved Franco, lost him, and faced her own battles. She had raised 3 sons, learned to stand on her own 2 feet, and created a life that did not center around waiting for Lucky to return. So, when she looked at him today, she felt like that teenage girl again. Why did it seem like nothing had ever changed? Like father, like son, despite Lucky's efforts to avoid becoming his father, some things were simply ingrained in him. His parents, Luke and Laura, were a love tale for the ages, defining a generation. However, their love had been tumultuous, chaotic, and riddled with heartache. Was Lucky and Elizabeth's narrative meant to be the same? Or was this their opportunity to finally get it right? There had been a brief, ideal moment when it seemed like they might have an answer. A nice and peaceful night at Elizabeth's residence. A tune plays in the background. A dance that led them back to where it all started. Lucky had referred to her as his angel, just like his father had done with his mother previously. And in that moment, it seemed like the past had finally come full circle. However, love was more than just fleeting moments. It was all about options. And the decision to be together was not as simple as returning to old routines. Not with Cyrus Renault still around. A dangerous pursuit that could cost them everything. Port Charles was no stranger to danger, and Lucky and Elizabeth were about to find themselves right in the thick of things. Cyrus Renault was a name that terrified everyone who knew him. A criminal mastermind, a cold-blooded killer, someone who has destroyed lives without hesitation. Lucky and Elizabeth found themselves on a collision path with him. They knew too much. They'd seen too much. And Cyrus was not the type of man to allow people like them go untouched. Lucky has spent his entire life seeking justice and attempting to correct the wrongs of the world. Elizabeth had spent her time treating others and attempting to bring light into the darkness. They were going to push the boundaries of how much they were willing to risk for what was right. Was their love strong enough to withstand this? Was it about to break again? An ending that remains unwritten. Love stories in Port Charles had a tendency of never completely ending. They may go years without a spark, only to be reignited in an instant. They could be irreparably damaged, only to reunite when the world least anticipated it. So, what will happen to Lucky and Elizabeth? Will they finally get the ending they've always wanted? Or was their love meant to be a bittersweet memory, a tale of what may have been but never was? Only time will tell. But one thing was certain, in Port Charles, love was never simply love. It was a battle. Lucky and Elizabeth were about to battle for theirs. Danny's brave stand, Sasha's risky move, and Nina's big decision. On today's GH, will there be confrontations, negotiations, and a confession? Christina Corinthos and Elizabeth Baldwin arrive at Charlie's, where they discover Lucky Spencer behind the bar. Christina tells Lucky about her interactions with Ava Jerome and how Liz managed to defuse the issue. Christina then contacts her father to tell him what has just transpired. She gives Sonny Corinthos the rundown, and he promises to discuss everything with her when he comes home. Isaiah Gannon goes by to visit with Lucky and informs him that Jen Sidwell is in town. Lucky admits that he knows and apologizes for not telling him first. Isaiah then chats with Liz about her return to GH. He expresses how thrilled everyone is to have her back. Gio Palmieri has agreed to do Emma Drake a favor by arranging for Kai Taylor to meet them at Charlie's. She hopes he would agree to join her students' anti-animal cruelty organization. Trina Robinson arrives with Kai, and Emma immediately asks him to join the committee and speak at an event. Kai agrees to help, and they take a photo before departing. Trouble is brewing everywhere. Curtis Ashford joins Jordan Ashford to discuss salvaging a project. Seconds later, Jens Sidwell arrives to speak with them. Jordan introduces the guys, and Sidwell is impressed by Curry's work with Aurora. They talk about the Esplanade and how Sidwell wants to move it to Pier 55, and he mentions that Congressman Drew Quartermain is already on board. Sidwell then gets up to take a phone call, and Curtis tells Jordan that he thinks that whatever this guy wants, just say no. Sonny Corinthos and Natalia Ramirez are on their way back to Port Charles after visiting a cardiologist in Los Angeles. He hangs up the phone with his doctor, who apparently suddenly says he doesn't require a pacemaker. Instead, he requires surgery within the next 3 months. He then receives a phone call from Christina, who informs him about Ava's attempt to remove their daughter from the park. He admits to Natalia that Ava made a mistake, but he must do what is best for Avery, which includes maintaining her mother in her life. This is a significant shift from his earlier position. Natalia reminds him that things need to be low stress, so perhaps he can reach an agreement with Ava. Cody Bell can't stop talking about Sasha Corbin's pregnancy. This time, he yells at Jason Morgan and accuses him of being the father. Sasha snatches up her drink and throws it at Cody, ordering him to stop. She leaves, and Jason informs Cody that whatever happens next is between him and Sasha. Felicia Scorpio remains with Cody and attempts to calm him down by talking sense into him. He says that he is struggling with his separation from Sasha and that he needs to be her hero because it is all he can be. Felicia understands, but informs him that Sasha does not want to be saved. Willow Corinthos is sitting at a nearby table with Nina Reeves and Martin Gray. She wonders why everyone thinks Drew is horrible when Jason, a career criminal, mistreats Sasha. Meanwhile, Martin is looking for something Michael Corinthos has done that may offer Willow power in their custody dispute. Willow believes that he has simply been dishonest in his business transactions, which will not hold up in court. Cyrus Renaud interrupts their conversation and asks his brother for assistance. He tells him that Lulu Spencer misread what he said and that he now needs help communicating to Lucky. Curtis informs Martin that he believes the only route back into the family's good graces is via Lucky. He invites Martin to accompany him to Charlie's to speak with their nephew. Sasha and Jason make a deal. Sasha meets with Jason privately following Cody's outburst, and he informs her that Michael is mending well so far. Sasha states that she wants Michael to have all of his children waiting for him when he returns home, which is why Jason must pretend to be the father of her child. She warns him that if Willa finds out that Michael was also unfaithful, he may lose his children. They make an agreement in which Jason will keep an eye on Sasha for Michael and let everyone believe he is the father of her child, with the exception of his son Danny Morgan. He refuses to lie to him, and Sasha believes that Danny deserves to know the truth. Danny is prepared to take matters into his own hands. Danny is aware that Rocco Falconeri overheard a conversation regarding his mother's death being a murder, and he is attempting to elicit additional information from him. Rocco informs Danny that he cannot act on the information he overheard since it could land Harrison Chase and his father, Danya Falconeri, in danger. Danny says he needs to find Cyrus and confront him. Danny receives a phone notice about a photo Kai posted of himself and Emma at Charlie's, with Cyrus seated in the background and clearly visible. Sasha and Jason arrive at the Quartermaines, and Jason asks Rocco where Danny is. Rocco expresses concern that Danny has rushed to Charlie's to confront Cyrus about Sam's death. General Hospital recap: Nina and Willow discuss lying. Nina is left alone with Willow and attempts to persuade her not to go public with her connection with Drew because it will look bad for her while her estranged husband is in the burn unit. Willow doesn't care how it seems, she's done lying and will be honest about her emotions for Drew. Nina discusses how difficult it is to tell the truth and how individuals will lie to preserve themselves and those they love from sorrow. Willow agrees that when all of your options are awful, a lie can be the best one. Willow explains that if she hadn't lied about kissing Drew in the first place, her life would be very different today. It's quite evident that this is the time Nina will finally tell Willow that she had a year-long relationship with Drew while he secretly tried to win her over. Cyrus is becoming increasingly vulnerable. Cyrus and Martin enter the tavern, shocking everyone. Christina asks Lucky if she should throw him out, and he replies she should let Cyrus stay. Marty and Cyrus sat at a table, arguing about his relationship with Lulu. Cyrus defends watching over Lulu, claiming that the rest of the family is too busy to bother. As Martin heads to the bar for another round, Danny enters and begins confronting Cyrus. He cries, "I know Cyrus killed my mother." Cyrus answers by placing a hand on Danny's shoulder and acknowledging his grief. Just as he offers they pray together, Jason walks in and snaps at Cyrus to remove his hand from his son or else. Will Nina ultimately speak the truth? What do you think Cyrus' next step will be? Check back here for more General Hospital recaps and spoilers. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.